Oi, oi. All right, all right. How's it going? I'm Grant, you're you. This is the Doodle Review, and another quarter of new music has come and gone already, which means we've got to do a wrap up. It's the QDR, the quarterly Doodle Review, a spin through the highs and lows of all the new music I listened to between July and September of this year, 2024. For those that haven't followed along with this series so far, the rules of the game are that we can only talk about the new albums released between July and September, and ones that I personally listen to because they're the only ones I can give you an opinion on. This has been a tough quarter because I went away for a big part of it in the middle, and trying to keep up with 5 to 10 new albums a week is definitely one way to make sure your significant other never wants to come on holiday with you again. So my listening took a bit of dip over the summer. I also, as usual, spent the first few weeks catching up with albums from the previous few months. But nevertheless, at last count, I did get through about 39 new records. Some of these you will have seen a full review for, others you won't, but you might do in the not too distant future. I'm actually sitting on a bunch of scripts. I just need to find time to film. So that's something to look forward to. I mean, that might be overstating it, but there's more to come. Before I get into it, just a reminder that I also make and sequence a playlist each quarter with one track from every album I listen to. These are long as fuck and they're all over the place genre wise, but I find it fun to try and make each song fit together. The third 3 months is out now on Spotify, and the second 3 months has been updated with all of the stuff I didn't get to in those few months in time for the first release. They're linked in the description. All right, let's get into it. As ever, let's start with the worst album of the last 3 months. And once again, I have to give it to Ye and Ty Dolla Sign, Vultures 2. These two were my worst of Q1 with the first Vultures, but honestly, this album makes that record seem like Dark Twisted Fantasy by comparison. I'll be honest, I did find it hard to separate the artist from the art on the first Vultures record, and this definitely fed into my opinion. If I held my metaphorical nose and listened, there were a couple of kind of decent tracks, and the best I could say for the rest is that it was just boring. Vultures 2, though, it's legitimately bad. Throwaway songs, sloppy production, and lazy bars from Ye throughout. I've got more to say, but if you want more of a post-mortem, just stay tuned for my next edition of Rap Banquet, where I'll get into it more. And for some reason, because at that point I'll probably have spent more time on the record than Ye himself. That's not it though, because in the other album category, we've also got to give it up for Blink 182's One More Time Part 2. More of a deluxe edition of the first stinker from the reunited trio than an album, but it gave me the opportunity to do something I hardly ever do, which is kind of reappraise the first record. Check out the link below for the full review, but you can guess where I'm kind of going with it. The new tracks, I think there are about 6 of them, have a couple of cool parts, but they're buried in the most sepia toned, artificial sounding kids bop shit, and it's just overall added to the sour taste that the cynical fake first album left with me. On to the positives. Let's go to my best new discovery, and I'm going to shout out the Canadian psych punk desert weirdo rockers Crones and their new record Human Error. If you don't know these guys and you enjoy the full spectrum of 90s to 2000s underground rock that touches on artists like Masters of Reality all the way to Pixies, which, as you'll learn in my interview with frontman Nathan, linked below, aren't actually their reference points, but nonetheless, I think if you dig those artists, I think you'll be into it. You should definitely check out that episode of Our Band in 3 Albums as well. It was a banger. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to add the new best new discovery as well. I'm going to add to that Mucho Mistrust by Fake Fruit. This has only been in my rotation for the last week or so. I was intrigued by the album cover and I love the album title, which reminds me of a song lyric that I can't seem to remember. Anyway, this is cool. It's angular post-punk, very much in the Parquet Courts kind of vein. I definitely recommend. From here, let's just dip back into the negatives just for a moment with most disappointing. And my review of this literally only just came out, so I'll link you to the full thing, but I'm sorry to say it's the Voids, like all before you. The first 2 Voids records are some of the coolest, weirdest, but also banging experimental rock out there, but this new one just falls into self-parody, with Casablancas even seemingly remaking some Strokes tracks he obviously didn't think ended up spooky enough on the new Abnormal. I'm a big fan of this band, but this was a bummer. Let's swing it back to the positives, and most surprising is going to Jack White's No Name. Just everything about the record was a surprise. It was released on secret vinyl test pressings on one random day, July, via his Third Man Records, and then shared among fans online for a few weeks before it actually even got an official release. The other surprising aspect, though, is that it's a garage rock barn burner in the vein of the White Stripes. That's something I feared White had left way behind to pursue his more recent kind of Willy Wonka persona. So I dig it. Now for my favorite category, super playable, not pliable. I ain't trying to stress test my vinyl collection. Don't worry, it's playable, super playable. Basically, this category is reserved for records that might not be overwhelmingly original, but keep you coming back because it just bangs so hard. This quarter, I'm going to give that to the new hardcore darlings from Australia, Speed, and their record Only One Mode. Got a full review of this one in the chamber, but if you like riffs, beatdowns, and bands that scream their own name before the heavy section, you can't help but keep coming back to this one, so just get into it. Let's bring this fucker home then with a roll call of best albums in kind of different categories. In singer-songwriter, it's an album by former Deerhoof collaborator Chris Cohen called Paint a Room. This record is kind of understated, kind of weird, occasionally janky, and every now and again quite beautiful. If I were to use artists as reference points, I would say the record is a little Riley Walker, a little A Savage, the Parquet Courts frontman, with a bit of a Wilco-ish indie sensibility and occasional dabs of Sufjan Stevens' Renaissance Fair instrumental palette. In rock is gotta be the new one from Jesus Lizard, Rack. Damn, I did not expect a reunion album after 20 odd years to sound this grinding and this potent, but it freaking well does. Killer noise rock album. Check it out. In rap, it's an album I need to come back and do a deeper dive on, but it's JPEG Mafia and I Lay Down My Life for You. Big fan of Peggy. This one is killer. All right, that's my roundup for Q3 2024. I obviously got more I need to listen to. There's definitely stuff that I'm missing. You know, I've heard that Regional Justice Center is pretty great. There's a new Jamie XX album out, new Floating Points, new Fiddler, but I can only do so much. Time to knock it on the head. Don't forget to check out full reviews of some of the ones that I've mentioned today in the description. Stay tuned for more to come and go listen to the playlists. They're all down there below. And of course, stick around, share some thoughts, show some love, or just hell some abuse in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Right, if you're still here, if you're someone that likes my content and has plans to actually watch more of it, then this message is for you. I want you to email me, doodlereview.club@gmail.com, put the subject line as the video that you've just watched, and I'm going to send you something cool. The idea here is that I really want to take this community, it's a small one, it's a tiny one, but I want to take it out of YouTube and do something else at some point. I don't know what that is yet, but if you email me, you're going to be the first in line for it, and I will get back to you with something cool based on the review that you've just watched. All right, mate. Take care. I know you go. Cheers. Bye.